Hi, and welcome to Business 1430 Entrepreneurship and Innovation at JCC for the spring 2022 semester. I'm Sarah Bray. I'm going to be your instructor for the class, and this will be a short welcome video to get you familiar with the syllabus and the course shell and Blackboard. When you log into our class in Blackboard, you're going to go straight to the announcements page like you see here. There aren't any announcements yet, but by the time you get there, there will be one there for you. And on the left-hand side, you'll see all of our important course navigation. So you'll have announcements, the syllabus, other important information, a tab called Who Owns the Ice House? And I'll explain that in a little bit. And then we split the course into two parts. Part one, where we are learning and practicing some design thinking principles, and part two, where you are using and applying those principles toward a final project. You should be able to see week one. You don't see these other weeks just yet, but know that they're there and they'll be ready for you when the time comes. Let me show you the syllabus. When you click the syllabus tab, you'll see two choices here. One is an institutional course syllabus. The other is an instructor syllabus. So all sections of this class at JCC, whether they are online or in person or taught by me or taught by someone else, they follow this course description and these learning outcomes. So real quickly, just to let you know, the learning outcomes are to recognize the importance of innovation and entrepreneurial thinking and develop an understanding of the entrepreneurial mindset. So we talk a lot about thought process and what it means to be an entrepreneur and to think like an entrepreneur. Another learning outcome is to engage in a creative problem-solving process. You'll work to identify opportunities and propose solutions to meet needs of users in an identified market. This course is a little bit different from other courses. It's very applied, it's very hands-on. There's some content and terms and material, but a lot of it is experiential, and I'm asking you to go out and talk to people, do interviews, create prototypes. So it might be a little bit different from other courses you've taken in that regard. So this is the institutional course syllabus. The other one that pertains specifically to our section is right here, the instructor course syllabus. So I'm going to open that up. That's a Google Doc, and you'll see that it was last updated on the day that I'm recording this, January 5th, 2022. If I make any changes to this, you'll see that the last update changes. And by the time you click on the syllabus, there might very well be an update or two. What you'll see here on the syllabus are my student hours, office hours, and contact information for how to reach me. The best way typically to reach me is going to be through email. So just send me an email at this address here, or also you can email me right through Blackboard. It goes to the same place. I'm based on the Cattaraugus County campus of JCC in the Tech Building, office number 218. And I typically do office hours either in person or through Zoom. That works best depending on what works for you. So we can always Zoom, have a quick phone conversation, whatever you might need. These are my dedicated student hours. So Monday, Wednesday, 9 to 11:30. Tuesday, Thursday, 11:30 to 1. You can use Starfish to make an appointment with me during those times. Those will be my appointment times. If those times conflict with your schedule, maybe you're in another class or you're working, whatever it might be, just send me an email and we can always coordinate another time to have a conversation. In terms of your expectations, the first thing I want you to know is that I'm going to help you succeed. I'm here to support you through this class. It is an asynchronous online course, which means you're working completely on your own time. We have due dates that I need you to follow, but when you complete your work is up to you. I'll communicate typically twice per week to the class, sometimes just once, but typically once or twice. I'll do that through course announcements, which also go to your JCC email. So it's really important that you're checking that JCC email every single day. We don't have a textbook that you necessarily need to go out and buy. There's one book that we'll use. It's called Who Owns the Ice House? 8 Life Lessons from an Unlikely Entrepreneur. It's available for free through the JCC library, so that's a great choice for you. You can get it as an ebook. You can also pick up an inexpensive copy if you prefer paper. I'll hold mine up if you can see it. This is my textbook that I purchased through eBay for $5. So you can get them pretty affordably through other options, or you can get it through the JCC bookstore. I think it might be about 15 bucks. But no need to purchase a book. It's available for free through the JCC library. And any other materials that you need, I make available for you right in Blackboard. In terms of assignments, they're going to be varied. As I mentioned already, there'll be some interviews, building some prototypes, you'll be doing some reading, engaging in online discussions. It's really important that you're communicating with me, but also with your classmates. We're trying to create a bit of a community of entrepreneurs where we test out different ideas and offer each other feedback through different types of communication. I do offer, with the assignments, an opportunity to review the work before you submit it. So if you want to have me just check over an assignment for you, please send that to me before it's due. I think I have Wednesday in here, or Thursday, excuse me. Actually, I changed the due dates. All of our things are going to be due on Thursday night. So if you can, I'll update this on the fly. Send me any work you want reviewed no later than noon on Wednesday, the week it's due. Then I'll be happy to take a look at that for you. All of our assignments are submitted in Blackboard, so typically Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. It's really hard for me to stay organized if you email me assignments, so please submit everything through Blackboard. I have drop boxes there, and that's how you'll receive your grades as well. So that'll help us both with feedback and organization. In terms of late assignments, it's great if you can submit everything on time, and I do have that expectation, but I do understand that we're living through some pretty uncertain times, and you have priorities and commitments outside of JCC. So if something comes up during the week and you know it's going to be a hard for you to get your assignment turned in on time, let me know in advance. I can almost always work with you to give you an extension. If you don't get the work in and you didn't ask for an extension, then there is a late assignment penalty. It's just 10% off for every 24-hour period something is late. So the sooner you get it in, the better, but there's not a huge penalty for a day or two late. But the longer it drags out, after 10 days, you won't be able to get any credit for an assignment. Your grades are made up of 3 different categories. So this Ice House book, you'll be doing some reading and using a tool called VoiceThread for online discussions. That's 20% of your grade. We also have the weekly homework assignments. Each one is weighted fairly low, but in some, they make up 60% of your grade. So you can definitely flub an assignment, but as long as you're consistently doing well, you'll do well in this aspect of your final grade. And then the final project and presentation is 20% of your final grade. The good news on the final project is that we take the second part of the course and we chunk it down into little bits. And so you're working on that final project and getting feedback consistently throughout the second part of the course, which means when it comes time to do the final project and submit it, you're almost entirely done. All you have to do is incorporate the feedback that I've given you, make some tweaks and adjustments, and then submit some high quality work for your final project. And here's the grading scale. So you'll know exactly how you'll be evaluated to get the grade that you want. I've given you a course schedule, and I don't anticipate a lot of changes, but if I do have some changes, I'll let you know. So you'll see here in this schedule, each week is numbered. We've got 15 weeks with a date, the activity or the topic for the week, so what you're working on that week, and then the assignment to complete. So what you need to do by the due date. And we're jumping right in. So our first assignments are due January 20th. You need to read the foreword, preface, and introduction to the Ice House book. I've actually scanned and attached that for you in Blackboard if anyone's having a little trouble accessing the book through the library or waiting on a print copy. It's there for you so you can get going. And then you're going to create an introductory discussion post. And there's details about that in Blackboard and in the weekly video and introduction. So that's how the syllabus works. Use this consistently so you know what's coming up, so you know what you're working on, and you know when things are due. It'll also give you a nice broad overview of the whole story of the class. Other important things for you to know in terms of communication, I already mentioned this, but please check that JCC email every single day. If you want to reach me, the best way is to set an appointment through Starfish or email. I'm also using the Remind app for the class. So if you want to, if you haven't already, use the Remind app. It's an easy download from the App Store. And if you put in this code at BUS1430S, or just click on the link and it'll prompt you to download the app and join the class. It's a great way that I can send a message to the entire class. It goes to your phone as a quick reminder. And a lot of students like to use the Remind app to message me directly. If you respond to any of my messages to the class, it will go straight to me. It won't go to the rest of the class. And it's a great way for you to ask me a quick question. And I can typically be pretty responsive. It goes straight to my phone. What else do I need to tell you here? We're using Blackboard. Here's the statements on academic and dishonesty and plagiarism. I don't anticipate any issues here. If you need any particular accommodations, reach out to Don Poole. This is his contact information. And here's some general information about the Learning Commons and then Starfish as well. So let's get back to Blackboard. And as I mentioned, you don't see all of these weeks yet, but I'm going to show you what week 1 looks like. All of the weeks are set up in a similar format where you're going to see our goals for the week, the things you're learning, the resources you need, and the assignments to complete. The resources will all be here in this folder with the exception of the Ice House book, but remember it's a download or an ebook from the library, or you can go purchase that on your own if you want a paper copy. Within each week's resources, I'll give you some slides and I'm going to give you a video. A lot of our class is not so much learning content, but learning process. And I feel like I really need to explain that verbally and show slides and things like that. So I'll plan to give you a video that I'll create for you every week, along with the slides and any other resources you might need. Might be some additional videos, might be additional files, reading, stuff like that. You'll find that all in the resources folder. Then you'll find your homework in the week's assignments folders. So for week 1, it's this discussion post. And you'll see all the directions here. I won't go into it in great detail right now. You can certainly read that. And I look forward to learning a little bit more about each of you through this introductory discussion. The last thing I want to show you is the Who Owns the Ice House. And this tab's going to stay here for the entire semester. A quick little overview and a summary of what you need to do. So step 1, get that book. Here's some directions in terms of how to get it through the JCC library as a download and an ebook. We're using a tool called VoiceThread to discuss the Ice House, and you need to set up an account. It's a free account through voicethread.com. It's intuitive. I don't think you'll have too much trouble learning how to use it, but if you do want to see a step-by-step video, there's a link right here. And then as we go through the book, for every chapter, you're going to read it and then you're going to make a comment. And this is really important as we scroll down to the actual VoiceThread. And there's more time to explore VoiceThread itself in the book. But let me just be clear, as we ask different prompt questions throughout the text and for each chapter, the questions don't necessarily relate to the reading. They're not reading quizzes. But in your response, I'm asking you to draw on what you learned in the reading. Maybe compare your opinion to something that is present in the book, to the author's experiences and your experiences. Just provide me some evidence that you actually did do the reading, because that's going to be really important as well. Sometimes Mac users have a hard time with this particular embedded link. So if you're using a MacBook and you're struggling to get to the VoiceThread, try this link right here. That's only if you need it. And then, as I mentioned, here's a scanned copy of the introduction to the book, the foreword, the preface, and the introduction that you need for week 1. That'll give you a week to get a print copy in the mail or noodle through the library and figure out how to get that ebook. I'm always here to help you as well. So I know that's a lot of information, but it's a quick overview on the course. Feel free to replay this video as you need to and reach out to me however I can assist you and support you. And I look forward to a fantastic semester.